I lived in a house from hell for years. From age 11 to almost 16, there was constantly something happening. Doors flying open and shut, voices, footsteps, nothing ever stayed where you put it. I was alone there a lot because both of my parents worked and I was constantly terrified. One of the most gut level disturbing things, though, was a little girl in my bathroom. Every time I walked past my bathroom door, which was constantly, since it was right outside my bedroom, I saw a little girl with blonde curled hair and a rose-colored dress. She just stood there staring, looking like a photographer from 1905. I started keeping the door closed so I could walk by without seeing her, but she was always there when I opened it. Once I stepped in past her, I couldn't see her anymore, but I could feel her there. She scared me, but I felt really sorry for her because she was trapped in there, like me, but probably forever. As the years went by and things in the house continued to get worse, she started seeming darker. I started feeling like she wasn't really a little girl anymore. I knew there was something ugly in the house, and I felt like it was presenting this sympathetic image to me. Then I started thinking. I was completely losing my mind. One day when I was 14, I had a friend from out of town come stay with me for a week. I hadn't told her anything whatsoever about the house because I didn't think she would come if I did. Right after she got there, we were sitting in my room, and she left to go to the bathroom. About a minute later, she walked back with a puzzled look on her face and said, "So, there's a little girl in your bathroom." Um, yeah, she hangs out in there. Blonde hair, curls, pink dress. Yeah, that's not really a little girl, don't you? I almost threw up. I was so relieved and terrified and excited, ready to run out of the house screaming. She wouldn't use my bathroom for the rest of the week, and I started using it as little as possible. Use without pissing off my parents, who did not want to believe. Eventually, we moved out, and I could not have been happier. I distanced myself from it mentally as I could. Then, when I was 18, I took another friend on a road trip to pack up a few things I had left in the house my parents hadn't managed to sell it, and wouldn't for 5 more years. The minute we got on the property, my friend seemed uncomfortable. When we came around the bend in the long, steep driveway, highway, he went completely white. I could tell something was wrong, but he insisted he was okay. So we went. So we got to work. After a while, he asked me to use the bathroom, and I directed him to mine. Not 20 seconds after, he came running back and gasping for breath, and slammed the door and slid the bedroom door behind him. He started gabbling about a little blonde girl. He wasn't really a girl. All of a sudden, he went dead, still looking me in the eye. And very solemnly said, "She's not happy with you. You left her, and you weren't supposed to." We threw whatever we could into trips in my car. After I walked him to another bathroom and waited outside the door and got out of there at top speed. I grew up in New Mexico and was always very into the outdoors. Hiking, camping, rock climbing. One summer when I was 19, I went on a 4-day, 3-night camping trip near my parents' house on my own. Might sound weird, but I had been to this area many times and it was quite safe. Anyway, I brought my camera and took lots of pictures. When I came back and developed my film, there were 3 extra pictures that I didn't take of me. Of me sleeping, one each night. None of my stuff was missing or stolen, and nothing happened, but it freaked the out of me. In my old apartment, my dog would on occasion look down the hallway towards the bedroom from the living room and growl for no apparent reason. Also on occasion, when I was sleeping in the bedroom, she slept at the foot of the bed. I would wake up with her staring intently at the door and growling. She was a big girl, 140 pounds of Great Dane, Cadella, and Slobber. So I'm there for a couple of years of this, thinking, okay, my dog has a good imagination. Wrong. One night I woke up due not to my dog growling, but barking for all she was worth. And not at the door, she was barking straight at me. I opened my eyes pretty much immediately, and there was a blur of light leaning over me very close, certainly less than 6 inches away from my face. It was not disgusting as a person. It more resembled a person sized of a very colorful nebulae. You might see a picture of in Science magazine, 3-dimensional and all. I immediately got the distinct impression that this thing had been watching me sleep for good God knows how long. And how many times before. For all the clarity of that distinct feeling, I had no sense of what it wanted. Whether it was malevolent or curious, I flipped right the out, jumped backwards to the other side of the bed, too terrified to scream, and that blur of light receded and disappeared. Over the course of about 3 seconds, my dog was going absolutely ape. So shortly thereafter, I asked the building manager if anyone had died there. She investigated that and came back to me a couple of weeks later with a yes. A woman had died of a drug overdose in that apartment in 1995. So 12 years earlier, shortly after having a child removed from her custody of her addiction problems. My dog did still growl at the hallway from time to time, but I never saw it again. I moved out about a year later. I've had other encounters, but this thing was literally inches away from my face, watching me sleep. Getting shivers now, just writing about it.